Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pet Barbecue. On today's video, I'm going to be smoking a beef shank, also known as Thor's hammer. Look at the size of this thing. All right, let's get started on this really large beef shank from 1855. I gotta tell you, if you guys have not tried 1855 beef, they carry the highest quality black Angus beef I have ever had. All right, let's take this beautiful beef shank out of the package and see what we're working with. I gotta tell you, as Americans, I think we're so fixated on trimming our meats to make them look pretty. But the butcher has already trimmed a lot of the fat. They Frenched this bone, for example, on this beef shank. But going forward, I think we should just leave the meat alone, take it out of the package, season it up, and throw it in the smoker. Who's with me? All right, so first things first, I'm gonna add some Wash Your Sister sauce as a binder on this beautiful beef shank. This is gonna give us a really good beefy flavor and allow the rub to stick to something. All right, let's add our seasoning. I'm gonna be using this Primetime seasoning from PS Seasoning. This has a really good buttery, beefy flavor. And again, this is a really large piece of meat, so make sure you add quite a bit of rub. Look at that. Nice garlic pieces, good amount of black pepper. This is perfect. Pat that rub in. Guys, when I tell you that this is a really large beef shank, it's the largest beef shank I've ever seen. This is a giant Thor's hammer. All right, so I'm just gonna lay my beef shank over our butcher's twine, just like that. And no, you don't need to be a Boy Scout to tie butcher's twine. Real simple knots. Just make sure it's really nice and tight. Do a double knot. Really nice and tight, just like that. All right, so I'm just gonna cut this excess twine. And there we have it, trussed up and seasoned up. Let's go fire up our smoker. All right, so the beef shank has been sitting for 20 minutes with our rub on it, and it's started to sweat into the meat. Look at that beautiful color. Let's go ahead and load it into the smoker. All right, into the smoker she goes. Right smack in the middle. Man, that is such a beautiful beef shank. I'm gonna shut the door. All right, so I've got my Lone Star Grill's pellet smoker running at 275 degrees. And on this cook, I'm gonna use a mixture of smoking pecan pellets along with some mesquite flavored pellets. So I've said this before, if you guys have a favorite pellet brand that you'd like to use, nothing wrong with that. But if you want more smoke flavor, you can either use smoking pecan 100% proof, or you can mix it 50-50 with your favorite pellet brand to get more smoke flavor on your food. All right, so I'm gonna let the beef shank smoke for about 3.5 hours, and I'll bring you guys right back. I can't believe I almost forgot to insert my wireless meat thermometer from Chef's Temp. Now, I've been using this wireless meat thermometer for about a month now, and I absolutely love it. So this stand right here is the charger for the wireless meat thermometer, plus it's a Bluetooth extender. Now, if you turn it around, it's got a spot for 2 additional wireless meat thermometers. So I've got it powered up. Let's go ahead and insert the probe. All right, so I'm gonna insert the probe on the thickest part of the shank, and you wanna make sure you insert the probe up to this line right here. So one thing that I absolutely love about this Chef's Temp wireless meat thermometer is that it's measuring the inside temperature of our beef shank as well as the external temperature or the ambient temperature. So with the internal temperature as well as the external temperature, the app can actually calculate how long it's going to take for our beef shank to cook. All right, let's close our door. I'll see you guys in about 3.5 hours. Stay tuned. All right, so the beef shank has been smoking for just about 4 hours. Let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. Oh yes, beautiful color. All right, so our beef shank is looking fantastic. Got a good amount of bark on the outside. It's time to wrap it up. All right, so our Chef's Temp app is showing that we're sitting at 160 degrees internal, 160, 162, and that's perfect. So let's wrap it up. I'm gonna pull our thermometer out just so we can wrap it. We've got 2 sheets of foil. We're gonna wrap this really nice and tight. All right, let's put her back inside the smoker. All right, there it is. Let's get our Chef's Temp thermometer back in there. Just like that. All right, so at this point, I'm going to crank the temperature on the smoker to 315 degrees. I'm looking for 204 degrees internal temperature. As soon as it hits that, I will see you guys inside. Stay tuned. All right, so the beef shank is ready, and the total cook time was 7.5 hours, and it has been resting for about 30 minutes. And I got to tell you, it smells absolutely amazing in here. Let's remove the Chef's Temp wireless thermometer. Man, that feels really tender. And by the way, this thermometer worked fantastic. If you guys are looking for a wireless thermometer, make sure you check out Chef's Temp. So let's unwrap this beauty right here. Still steaming, as you can see. Oh man. You know, I get the aroma of like a beef cheek almost. Very interesting. Look at this bad boy. Does that look cool or what? All right, so let's take off the butcher's twine. Man, this smells so good.
Butchers on your list.
Alexa, off. All right, so let's cut off our butcher's twine. So far, I gotta tell you, it looks tender and it feels tender, but we'll see once we start pulling this bad boy apart. All right, the moment of truth. Let's see how tender this beef shank is. Oh my goodness, look at this, guys. It's like a giant oxtail, smells amazing, still really hot. Look at this. I mean, the meat is just falling apart. It's got a good smoke ring throughout the entire beef shank. Oh my goodness. Man, this is really hot still. This meat is very gelatinous. It's got a good amount of fat, still really nice and juicy. Whew, I am burning my fingers, but we got to get it done. Look at how easy this meat falls apart. Super tender. All right, so I'm definitely going to be trying this meat by itself, but I'm going to make myself a tostada. So I've got a corn tortilla right here. I'm going to add some avocado. Look at this avocado, nice and green. You know it's going to be good. So I'm just going to grab some of this avocado, lay it on my tostada right here. Just like that. Going to grab some of this beef shank. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about right there. Got some Munster cheese and some of my homemade salsa that's really nice and spicy. Top it off with a little bit of kosher salt. Oh yeah, let's give this a try. All right, first things first, let's give this beef shank a try. Just like that. Look at that nice smoke ring. Here we go. Man, this beef shank is fantastic. You know, I want to compare it to beef cheek because of the gelatinous, but the flavor is really beefy, almost like chuck roast and oxtail mixed together. This is fantastic. All right, now let's try this oxtail tostada right here. Look at that. Now you can do whatever you want with this meat. I chose to make tostadas. Here we go. Now that tostada was fantastic. That fresh avocado, the salsa, the cheese, and that warm beef shank, that is money. If you guys have never smoked a beef shank before, I highly recommend you guys give it a shot. The meat is fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this beef shank video. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit BBQ. See ya. I'm gonna get me some more.